Hey everyone, what is going on? I'm back with another video, and today we're checking out the GripCase Crystal from SkullNCo. I was sent this product from SkullNCo to check out and review, but as usual, these are my own thoughts on the product. I have already opened it and used it for a couple hours so that I could properly test it and review it, but let me show you what's inside anyway. So in this shoe box looking box, we've got instructions, the GripCase case, as well as additional grips, which I'll talk more about in a moment. This product is normally $53 on the SkullNCo website, but right now it is discounted $10 to $43. Opening up the case, we have slots for 10 games here. We've got a little pouch at the top of the case so you can put additional accessories inside. Open this up and you've got the grip itself, and then this flaps up here. You have additional grips down here, and then you have a storage space for maybe say a battery pack. And then these little notches here I'll talk more about in just a moment. The case is a pretty solid, durable case, and it sounds like it'll take any drops if you happen to accidentally drop it, but it's also got a carrying handle and it's multifunctional. So there's this really interesting secondary flap right here, which is actually to help use it as a kickstand because the grip case doesn't have a kickstand. So you could use this case to help prop up your Switch in multiple different ways. This is the GripCase Crystal itself. If you couldn't tell, they called it the GripCase Crystal because, well, it's clear like a crystal. This thing wraps around your entire Switch, even including the ZR and ZL buttons here. But the interesting thing about this is that you can switch out these little palm grips here. So the ones that it comes with by default are just little palm grips that you can use to hold your Switch. Pretty small form factor here, but then there's two other ones that I prefer over these thin ones. So these are the plus grips. They're rounded ergonomic grips, which are a lot better to hold onto than the regular grips here, but still, even these aren't as bad as holding onto just straight Joy-Con. And then the third design that they've included in the box are the trigger grips, which are very similar to the plus grips, except that if you didn't notice, it's shaped to almost have a sort of trigger-like look to it. I prefer these ones over any of the other sizes, but even the plus grips aren't that bad at all. And just so you know, most of my testing was done with these trigger grips because to me, these are the most comfortable, but I'm not saying that these ones are bad in any way. These are just the ones that I'm used to. Like I said, the GripCase Crystal comes with 3 different size grips for whatever you're most comfortable with. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you're gifting this to a child, they can use the smallest ones because I don't know if their hands would really fit on the trigger grip or the plus grip, or the other way around. If you're a person with large hands, you might be uncomfortable with these different smaller grips here as opposed to the trigger grip or the plus grip. So it all depends, but I really like the fact they included different options for if you're gifting this to someone or if you're buying it for yourself. You have different options for whatever your comfort style is. And because it comes with all 3 sizes, you don't really have to spend extra money on purchasing different sizes for different sized people. It just comes with all of them and you don't have to fuss at all. Now you might be wondering, how easy is it to use this with your Switch? Well, super simple. You just put your Switch in, line up the shoulder buttons, and then bring the rest of the rubber around and the case is in, and that's literally it. You get a little bit of a lip around here which protects the front end of the Switch, and the most important thing that I really like about this is the rubber actually protects the shoulder buttons here on both the R button and the Z button, L button, and ZL button. The case still allows for the vents to be completely open. It doesn't block those. You still have access to your game card port, your headphone jack, and then the buttons for power and volume are covered, and your charging port is also still open so you can charge it. Once you have a case on, you can still actually switch the grips off by simply just pulling and then pulling the other one as well, and then just simply attaching the next grips on by sliding it, lining it up, and then until you hear the click. Here's one, and then here's the other one. And just like that, you switch the grips to the different sizes. Now with this entire case on the Switch, it does make it bigger and bulkier just because of the size of the grips to be able to hold on to, but it doesn't add too much weight to it. They still manage to keep it light. In this case, if you're using it in portable mode for a long period of time, it's not like it's gonna weigh you down. If you're not interested in the blue color option that I have, they have plenty of other color options as well. They've got Fortnite yellow and blue, gray, Animal Crossing, neon blue and red, and a bunch of other different colors as well. In terms of durability, I think that this case with its soft rubber will absorb a little bit of shock if you accidentally drop it from just a regular human height, but if you're throwing it around, this probably won't hold up. But it will protect your Switch from scratching because it's basically covered on all sides except for the front where the screen and buttons are. But I mean, aside from that, it covers literally everything else. Like I said, it covers the shoulder buttons, which you don't see too often on too many cases. And it still allows you to use the buttons with a fairly tactile click. Although it does feel a little bit mushier because you're pushing down on rubber on top of the hard plastic, but it's still nice because the buttons are protected. So one of the downsides of this case is that it doesn't really fit into a regular Switch dock. But that isn't a big deal considering that you can easily remove the case and just charge your Switch normally in the dock or use a USB-C and plug it into the base here. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't really fit inside a normal Switch dock, which is totally fine because there's other ways to go about charging this thing, which is you can just remove the case or you can plug it in. Now, the other issue that I have with this is that there is no kickstand. Granted, this GripCase is mainly for portable use only, but with the included hard shell case, it does have a kickstand in its own way. In the included instructions they show you how to use this case as a kickstand. Remember these little notches I was talking about earlier? Yeah, you can use these to prop the Switch up into a kickstand mode. So you take this little flap, you can fold it up here, and you just place your Switch in one of the notches, and it sits upright. But if this angle is a weird angle for you, you can always adjust it to different heights or different viewing angles. So maybe you're sitting in a plane, you don't have much space, you can just lay it straight down like this, or you can bring it all the way up like that. So yeah, if you use the flap and these little notches here in conjunction with each other, you can get the right height for your tabletop mode. If you need to go somewhere and pack up your Switch, you simply can put whatever accessories down here, maybe a battery charger perhaps, put it in there, close this flap, and then you take your Switch and you put it on here. You take the other flap, fold it over, which will protect the screen, and you secure it with this little Velcro here. And then it won't really shake around in there. You put whatever other accessories at the top, close it up, zip it up, and you're ready to go. That's it. So any issues that have been brought up, they clearly have solutions for it, which is nice. All in all, I really like this grip. It comes in a bunch of different color options, comes with different options for different sized hands, comes with a case, well priced, really protects the Switch, including the shoulder buttons, which is rare. And the two issues that I did have with it, which are the lack of kickstand and not being able to use it in the dock, well, there's easy solutions for that. The case is a kickstand in its own way, and not being able to charge it in the dock, the case is easy enough to remove and doesn't damage your Switch, so you can just plug it in. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the SkullNCo GripCase Crystal. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about it. Do all the different size options mean that there's too many accessories to play around with? Or does the lack of kickstand make a huge hindrance on the overall quality of the product? Let me know down in the comments below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.